President Biden's political future could all come down to a single news conference set to take place later today.
So this is a rare opportunity for the Washington press corps, and it could be a final chance for Biden to revive his re-election campaign. Doug Luzader live for us in Washington with more on this. Doug, good morning.
Good morning. The stakes are high. It's probably fair to say that Biden's situation is more tenuous today than it was just 24 hours ago, and that is due in no small part to sentiments we have heard from former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and George Clooney.
May we continue to grow stronger and closer in all the years ahead.
President Biden leading a toast to the future at the NATO Summit in Washington, just as his own political fortunes remain cloudy.
We're all encouraging him to make that decision because time is running short.
A former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, a key Biden ally, sent a not-so-subtle message yesterday suggesting the president should rethink his decision to stay in the race. More Democrats in Congress, including a senator now, say he should exit. Biden advisors today will meet with Senate Democrats, hoping to keep the rest on board, and the president does have some support.
I'm showing up with brass knuckles, and I'm all in on Joe Biden.
But to make matters worse for the president, actor George Clooney, who just last month hosted a glitzy Hollywood fundraiser for the president, wrote in the New York Times that he should drop out. It's devastating to say it, but the Joe Biden I was with 3 weeks ago at the fundraiser was not the Joe Big Effing Deal Biden of 2010. He wasn't even the Joe Biden of 2020. He was the same man we all witnessed at the debate.
Is the next domino. We've seen it with donors, we're seeing it with Hollywood, we've seen it with the mainstream media, allies that the president had. The bigger problem here is that as long as this conversation is dominating the campaign, Trump is winning.
Now, a final note about that George Clooney piece in the New York Times. Politico reporting a little intrigue here, saying that Clooney actually reached out to former President Obama before he penned that piece or before he sent it into the New York Times. And Politico reports that he did not get any pushback from Obama on that.
No, you know, Doug, that's interesting. I was actually talking to Bob about that earlier. That was a big part of the discussion yesterday, kind of this idea of what conversations between powerful people are already happening behind closed doors. You know, before
that's right. There's this question and this big discrepancy in what's happening publicly and what's happening privately as we get kind of a window into who might eventually come out against the president. Right. On the other hand, you know, the president's folks are really going to make the case to Senate Democrats that he is still their best hope to take on Trump.
And what's becoming clearer and clearer is it really is his decision, right? It's his option to decide, and so if he wants to stay in it, he's gonna stick with it.
You can game out a scenario where they try to tear the nomination away from him, but it would be awfully difficult to do with a party left standing at the end of that.
We've also, you know, obviously president is different in recent years, but we have seen, you know, a conversation about a senator that Democrats wanted to retire. We've seen a conversation about a Supreme Court justice in recent years that Democrats wanted to retire. And both of those decisions came down to them doing what they wanted to do.
Exactly.
So
yeah, and I think people kind of acknowledge that you know, Biden can do what he wants to do here, right. and that's why we saw that kind of not so gentle persuasion coming from Nancy Pelosi saying, you know, it's your decision, but you might not want to go with your first answer on this.
Right. Yeah.
We will see what happens. Every day is different when it comes to this story. All right, Doug Luzader live for us in Washington. We appreciate it, Doug. Thank you.